Is everything fine? The PPT and the voice? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
So in the module 6, uh, we have the topics like the functional approximation by it includes the fitting straight line and parabolic equations for functions. Then we have the numerical integration by various methods like trapezoidal, Simpson's rule, and the Gauss quadrature method. After that, we have the solution of simultaneous equation, simultaneous linear algebraic equations. Then the Gauss elimination method and the solution of partial differential equation. Then the last topic is the finite difference method. So I think you already went through all the topics except the finite difference method and the Gauss quadrature method. So this will be basically a uh, quick recap of what you have learned for the previous semesters. So in the case of the fitting the best straight line, say you have an yeah you have x-axis here and the y-axis here. Then you have a lot of points. For the x you have for x and y, so you have y is equal to f of x. So you have various points denoting the function y equal to f of x. So you want to find a best line. It can be a straight line with joining all the points, or it can be a curved line. It depends on the values. In this case, more or less the values are a straight line. Suppose you have one value uh, like here and here. So that means these values are deviating from the main straight line. So better than a straight line, a curved line. Uh, I'm not drawing the correct way. So maybe yeah, like this. So in some cases, there may be a curved line or a parabola which will most suit the equations. So in the first part of this module 6, we are going to learn how to express the equation by a straight line equation as well as the parabolic equation. So straightly into the notes. So I am just taking the class by the K2 notes because all the theory parts as well as the problems are clearly available in this note. When I search for the extra problems or additional theories, it will be difficult to find from different PDFs. So for your exam point of view, and as you know already learned the subject, so this will be enough for the studies. I think somebody joined. Okay, so the first title is to find the or to fit a straight line for the equation by the method of least squares. So the procedure is we need to fit a straight line y is equal to a plus bx. So the common thing is y is equal to ms plus c, or it is like y is equal to a plus bs. Substitute the observed set of n values in the equation. So this is a straight line equation which we have seen here. So we are going to find a equation for this case for this straight line. Yeah. So we need to form two equations for solving the a and b. We know the value of x, we know the value of y, and as we have a given numerous values, we need to find a constant a and b which will properly suit the straight line equation. So to find the a and b, we have two equations: sigma y is equal to na plus b into sigma x, and sigma xy is equal to a into sigma x plus sigma bx square, sigma x square. Solving this equation, we have two equations and two unknowns basically. We will get the a and b, which will give you the unknowns in the straight line equation. So this is the basic theory of finding the straight line equation. A problem will be make you clear. If P is the pull required to lift a load W by means of a pulley, find the linear load in the form of P is equal to NW plus C, connecting the P and W using the following data. So here different pull, that means you are going to lift a weight. So to lift a weight, you need to apply a force, right? So the weight are 50, 70, 100 and 120. So you need different pull: 12, 15, 21, 25. Just for the time being, just don't think too much about the units of the pull and the weight. Let it be in a mutually adjusting value. That means it's a similar values of the pull and the weight. So we have these four values, four pull and four weight correspondingly, and we need to put a straight line so that if the next weight is 150, say it's 150, we want to find the corresponding pull required from this graph. So that makes it clear. Or even the an intermediate value. Suppose we have 60 here. So from the graph we can find the corresponding pull required. This is the need of the problem. So we know where P and W are in kilogram weight. Yeah, the weight is the unit is given kilogram weight, and compute P when W is equal to 150 kilograms. So we have the values till 120. We want to get a value 150 by proposing an equation, and from the equation of straight line we have to find the value of a pull required for a lifting 150 kilogram. So similarly, we have the P is equal to MW plus C straight line equation. So in our case, Y is equal to BX plus A. So we are following this equation, these two equations. Y is equal to BS plus A, and we have the sigma Y is equal to NA plus B into sigma X, and we have the next equation sigma uh, xy, x into y, sigma adding x into y multiples is equal to a into sigma x plus b into sigma x square. So we need the values to be calculated. So we have they just replace the variables with the real values. That means the y is equal to p in our case, as well as the x is the weight. So sigma p, they clubbed all the 12 plus 15 plus 21 plus 25. They got the value of sigma p. Sigma weight also they got sigma w into p, that is 12 into like 12 into 50 plus 15 into 70 plus 21 into 100. Similarly, sigma wp, then sigma w square is also required. So adding the squares, 50 square plus 70 square plus 100 square plus 120 square. So all the required values are computed here, and these values substituted in equation 1 and 2. So when you substitute like that, you get 73 sigma p is equal to 4 c. Yeah, 4c plus 340, and in equation 2 you have 6750, which is sigma wp is equal to 340 c plus m into sigma w, that is 31800 m. So you have two equation, two algebraic equation. You have two unknowns c and m. You know how to solve this equation, and to find the solution C and M. So this C and M, in general case, it is an A and B. So we have customized for a problem C and M, and we got the value P is equal to MW plus C is the state and equation, and you found the M value and C value, and you got the equation P is equal to 0.1879 W plus 2.2758 is this equation of this straight line. Okay, so by knowing the straight line equation, we can find for any value, even for the value below 120 as well as above 120. So for 150 kg, you substituting the W here, 150, you got the p value as 30 point, sorry, it is 304.608, I guess. Just check the value. Similarly, so now I understood the basic things. So again, one more thing, x and y, you have a series of value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost 9 values are there for x and y. So you have y is equal to a plus bx. Total number is n is equal to 9. So directly you are getting the equation in the x and y. We have the variables also in x and y. Sigma y, sigma xy. Calculate all the required values, substitute in the equation, first equation, second equation, solve for the a and b, and this a and b will give you the uh, equation of the straight line. Is clear to you? Next one is the fitting a parabola. So I have clearly told that in some cases, if all the values are in a linearly varying, a straight line would be ideal for that. Suppose the values are deviating from the straight line, and maybe a parabola is more suitable for defining the equation. So in that case, next one is the parabola. So when you cross check with the previous one, you have more number of equations to solve. You have almost 4 equation, which includes A is the unknown, B is the unknown, C is the unknown. Okay, so then y is equal to a plus bx plus a square. Sigma y is equal to na plus b into sigma x plus sigma c into sigma s square. You have to remember all these equations. That's the main thing you need to understand for solving the equation. So this it is better to solve the problem in this tabular form so that you can find x, you can list out the x value. Yeah, given x value, s values, y values. So they have find the sigma x, sigma y, x square y values, s cube values, s raised to 4 values, x y values, and s square y, which is required for the inputs for this equation. So then substituting all the calculated values in the equation, you have first equation, sigma y is equal to, so we have basically 3 equations to solve and 3 unknowns, sigma y, sigma xy, and sigma s square y. The y is equal to a plus bs plus a square is the equation, general format of the parabolic equation. So computing sigma y as the equation 1, sigma xy as the equation 2, and sigma x square y as equation 3. So 3 equation, 3 unknown, you can find the a value, b value, c value by using the matrix solutions, and then you can frame it into the fit into the main equation of the parabola y is equal to a plus bs plus c square. So the equations are given. A similar problem, I'm not repeating it again, x y, x square, x cube, s raised to 4, x y, and s square y. All things are calculated, and even this is not complete also. So you know the procedure, how to do those things, how to club these values into the main equations and to solve it by the matrix method. So that's about the fitting a straight line as well as fitting a parabola for the given set of x and y values, so that we can predict the like unavailable values. Okay. Next important one is the numerical integration. The numerical integration is the process of evaluating a definite integral from a set of tabulated values of the integrand fx is called as the numerical integration. So there are mainly three ways of doing the numerical integration. The main methods are trapezoidal method as well as the Simpson's rule method. So for this type of problems also, to solve the equations you have to understand the these equations. It's very important. So when you compare the trapezoidal rule and the Simpson's rule, both are to find the integrand. So the trapezoidal rule is h by 2 into some function, and Simpson's rule is h by 3 into some function. So the Simpson's rule, the given interval must be divided into n number of subintervals. Simpson's rule is more accurate compared to the trapezoidal rule. So it's just a comparison between two methods. We'll see a problem to make it clear. So we are asked to find the integrand 1 by 1 plus x square is a value, and to integrate it from 0 to 6 by using two methods. One is the trapezoidal method and the second one is Simpson's rule method. So this is only given to you. You want to subdivide this equation, or get the tabular values for various intervals. That is our work. So we have here the various x values like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are put for this equation. 1 by 1 plus 1 square, 1 by 1 plus 2 square, 1 by 1 plus 2 square. So all those values are found and reported in y is equal to f of x. So like 1 by 1 plus 1 square. Uh, yeah, so when you put one value is 0.5, and when 1 by 1 plus 0 square, 1 by 1 is 1. Yeah, so 1.5. So all the values, x values are given here, are provided here, and the corresponding y values are calculated and reported as y0, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6. Is for it is shown in this way so that the integration will be easier for you. Okay, so just see for the trapezoidal rule for an integration from x0 to x0 plus nh. So n is the number of intervals and h is the interval duration. So to a integration from x0 to x0 plus nh, you have h by 2 h by 2 into y0 plus yn. It is first and last term plus 2 into all the intermediate terms. So this is the trapezoidal rule. H by 2 into first and last term plus 2 into all the intermediate terms. In the case Simpson's rule, it is h by 3 into first term plus last term is common, plus 4 into all the odd terms plus 2 into all the even terms. So that's the difference between these two methods. Okay, straightly into the problem. We have first method. Uh, See that the interval is 1, 0, 1, 2. So this interval value is 1. So we have x0 to x0 plus n plus f of s dx is equal to h by 2 into the equation. So h we told is 1 by 2 into first value is 1 and last value is 0.027. So half into 1 plus 0.027 plus 2 into all the other values, all the y values. So that is clear to you, and you got the value as 1.4107 is the integration value of 0 to 6 ranging 1 by 1 plus x square. If you calculate same integral using the Simpson's rule, the variations like h by 3 into, so 1 by 3 into first plus last plus 4 into all the odd terms, all the odd term 0.5, 0.1, like that, plus 2 in the even terms will give you 1.366. So there is a variation, and it's reported that the Simpson's rule is more accurate compared to the trapezoidal rule. Similar problem here, the integration is only from 0 to 1, s square by 1 plus s cube. So they found, so the interval is a choice of the person. So he can, in this case he have used the interval of 0.25. So x values corresponding y values, then we know that the interval is 0.25. So same equation, h by 2 into the function, in the case of trapezoidal rule, and in the Simpson's rule we have the h by 3 into the function. So that will give you the uh, integration using the trapezoidal and the Simpson's rule. Similarly, one more problem is there. Integral 0 to 2 e raised to s square. Okay, same thing. So 0, 0.51, 0.52. So the interval is zero point 0.5, clear to you. So that's why we put h is equal to 0.5, 0.5 by 2 into the equation for trapezoid as well as the Simpson's rule. So that tells you clearly about how to use the trapezoidal method as well as Simpson's rule method for finding the integration. So the next one is the Gauss quadrature method that you haven't studied. So the same concept, but the Gauss quadrature method is mainly used for finding the integration ranging from minus 1 to 1. So from this negative 1 to 1 f of s dx. So there are basically two methods, 2-point method and the 3-point method. So obviously the 3-point method is higher method. We'll see the difference. So the 2-point method, minus 1 to 1 f of s ds is equal to function of f of minus 1 by root 3 plus f of 1 by root 3. It's the equation for 2-point method. And we have, in the case of 3-point method, uh, minus, just a minute. Yeah. So in the case of 3-point method, minus 1 to 1 f of s ds is equal to a different equation like 5 by 9 into function of uh, minus root zero point 0.6 plus f of root 0.6 plus 8 by 9 into f of 0. So these two equations are there. Okay, see that the Gauss quadrature method you have just discussed can be applied only for the integration for the interval minus 1 to 1. It has two methods. One is the 2-point method, and this method is used for polynomials up to degree 3, that is s cube. Till s cube you can go for a 2-point Gauss quadrature method, and if you have a value more than s cube, s raised to 4, s raised to 5, then you have to go for 3-point method. This method is exact for polynomials up to degree 5. So the 3-point method can be used for any function up to s raised to 5, and the 2-point method is ideal only up to s cube. Okay, so next a problem will make you clear. Use the Gauss 3-point formula. Evaluate the following integral. So see the integral is correct from minus 1 to 1. So the condition is satisfied, and the integrand 3s square plus 5 into x raised to 4. So as we have x raised to 4 term coming, it is better to go with the 3-point Gauss quadrature method. So we have the integration f of s is equal to 3x square plus 5s raised to 4 is the function, and we need to find f of minus root 0.6 and f of root 0.6, and also f of 0 for these equations. So calculating the required things, f of minus root 0.6, the value is 3.6, and f of root 0.6, the value is 3.6, and also f of 0 will give you, because all things are involved, x is all in all the terms, so it will be 0. F of x is 0. So substituting the values, 5 by 9 into bracket, like the 3.6 plus 3.6 plus The 8 by 9 into 0 will give you value 4. So it's clearly the application of the equations. Similarly, you have another one, find from 0 to 1 the equation. So you know that the Gauss coefficient can be applied for minus 1 to 1. It's only half the range. So what you can do is that you can find for the full range minus 1 to 1 and make the value half. So similar way, f of 1. So one more thing to note is that yeah. So the please note the equation is say the function is similar to the previous one, 3x square plus 5x raised to 4. Okay. So we got so you need to calculate all these values, and then at the last stage, as the integration is only from 0 to 1, is equal to half into minus 1 to 1 a square plus 5 So I just simplify the steps on. So it is like half into 4, or 2 will be the integrand integration value. It's clear to you. And the last problem we will discuss is applying the Gauss-Quadrature 2-point formula to evaluate the following. Uh, the minus 1 to 1, our range is satisfied. 1 by 1 plus s square dx, and from minus 1 to 1 f of s dx is equal to we need a function f of minus 1 by root 3 plus f of 1 by root 3. So here the values are put 1 by 1 plus minus 1 by root 3, then that value square plus 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 by root 1 plus 1 by root 3 square. So that will give you the value of 1.5. So so by these three methods, you got the idea of doing solving the problems by the Gauss quadrature method. So you have more problems to see. You see in the trigonometric things, same concept, and please go through that. And uh, after that, we will start with the next topic, Gauss elimination method.